Welcome to Chatting with You.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another podcast of Chatting with You. My name is Giselle Urbina.
And I am Norma Gonzalez.
And today we're going to talk about setting goals for 2021.
Yes, as we all know, 2020 was definitely a very challenging and difficult year, but we have to look at the positive side, the bright side. We're all here, we're all doing good, and we just have to focus on the future now.
That's right. And I feel like sometimes it's easy to set up goals and then probably in 2 weeks we'll forget about them. Mm-hmm. But I feel like there's a few things that we can try so that we can set them and actually follow through and actually accomplish them at the end of the year. Yeah. And again, it'll be a quick, nice podcast to give you some tips. Yeah. So I guess my first question would be, Norma, have you set up any goals this year?
I have set up a couple of goals. I'm still kind of more so in the changing of it. Because I'm like, okay, I need to learn how to prioritize my goals a little bit more. Because I think of it overall, right? What are my goals for this entire year? But I feel like I need to kind of step it down a bit and sum it up as to what do I want to accomplish this month? And I feel like if I shorten it down to like a monthly goal type of thing, it'll be a lot more easier for me to actually accomplish those bigger goals that I have for my overall year. So I'm there now.
I love it. And that's very true. Mm-hmm. So you can have goals that you want to accomplish in the year, but you need to have smaller goals that are short term. Yeah. So that way you can break it down and be able to accomplish them little by little rather than looking at it as a whole picture and getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, definitely. Because you do get easily overwhelmed where you're like, this is everything that I want to do, but not everything goes as you always plan. Mm-hmm. So I feel like once you break it down more so as to like little by little, it's easier for you to kind of like get to the bottom of and actually do more so not just say.
That's true. Mm-hmm. So that will be our tip number 1. Yeah. Break them down. Yep, break your goals down either by month, by week, however you feel more comfortable doing it. It will help you accomplish them faster and without being so overwhelmed. Oh, yeah. I would say tip number 2 is make sure that you separate your goals personally and professionally. Yeah. For example, I have my personal goals and I have my professional goals, and both of them are equally important to me. Right. So don't try to say, well, my personal goals don't really matter as long as my professionals are met. No, they go hand in hand. Yeah. So they both have equal value. Make sure you divide them, but you pay equal attention to both of them.
Yeah. And that you actually do equally the same amount of effort into both. And that's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. Another tip that I can think of is to make sure that you prioritize. Definitely. Right? There's some goals that you really, really have to get done, or that if you actually get them done, it's going to bring you so much joy and so it's going to be so good and rewarding that you want to make sure you prioritize those rather than those others that, are not as important. That way you can get the best out of them.
Yeah. And then you kind of feel a little bit more of a relief as well and more accomplished. Once you get one done, you're like, I can do this. One done, all these other to go, X, Y, and Z. So yeah, definitely. I feel like you feel that relief and you just feel like you're motivated to do more,
Exactly. So, yeah. Exactly. What else? What other tips you got?
For accomplishing your goals this year, I would just say maybe time managing too. I think that's a huge one. You need to learn, okay, let me set some time aside to actually get this done so that I'm in the correct lead way to accomplishing that goal. So I feel like a lot of time management also has a lot to do with it. Because sometimes you're like, I'm going to sit here and watch something on Netflix. And then it's like one show, another show. And it's like 2-3 hours and you did nothing. And when you could have just been like, okay, I'm going to be a little bit more hard on myself and do an hour on watching this movie. And then once I'm done, finish this up so that I can complete my task or whatever.
That's true. Very true. Another important thing is to keep track of them.
Yes.
So you should have a notebook, a calendar, a piece of paper, however you want to
Yeah.
do it, but you need to keep track of them, like write them
Yeah,
down. And also
definitely.
every so often, again, it could be weekly, it could be
Yeah.
monthly, it could be
Check
quarterly,
in.
track
Mhm.
them. That way you can
Yeah.
see your progress.
And that's very true because I feel like I'm a visual person. So I feel like I need to write them. I feel like I need to write them, and I do write them. I have a notebook that actually Maria gifted me, and it says hustle, and it's so cute. Anyways, but I love it. And I have notes. It's like I guess you can say it's an agenda because it has the calendar, and then it has like a couple of pages for notes. So it's been very helpful for me because I'm like, okay, not only have I used the calendar to kind of write certain, important dates, like whenever certain bills are due or whatever, that way I'm more on track of that as well. But I also have it jotted down where I have, okay, here are my sectional notes for this month. And I kind of do like a check-in, a weekly check-in, like, okay, did I get this done? Why didn't I get it done? I need to get this done. So so I'm very more visual. So I feel like if I write them down and I constantly see them, I constantly have them in my mind, and I'm like, okay, I need to, finish this so that I can move on to this. And it just helps me be more organized too. So I love it.
That's true. And I love the idea that you said about your notebook, because there's actually, if you go to Amazon or any of these stores, there is an actual goal tracker.
Yeah.
And there's certain types of them that are very creative. For example, you have stickers that you can put in as you move on, as you accomplish them.
Yeah.
They also have sections where you can put what is actually preventing you from accomplishing that goal.
Right.
What should you do in order to overcome that? Anyway, it divides every goal into these specific areas where you can actually track that goal easier, and you can see what is actually making it hard, so you can actually see and be able to fix it, so you can keep moving forward.
Yeah.
So those are about $24.99. They vary in range, so it's not expensive, and it's something that we can all probably get and actually make our lives easier.
Definitely. You don't have to kind of sit there and like think too hard about it when the notebook can just help you. So I think that's definitely one of the big tips too, to helping you accomplish those goals. Like, organize it yourself the way that you want, like, and can, and it should be fine.
Yes. And to me, if you don't have anything else that you can think of, the last thing is to celebrate small wins.
Oh yeah.
So for example, to me, a weekly goal is to exercise 3 times a week. If I do it, I'm going to celebrate. And I'm not going to celebrate by eating ice cream. That's not the kind of celebration I'm talking about. I'm going to actually celebrate by being proud of myself, by maybe getting a new pair of shoes to motivate me to exercise more. Or just acknowledging that I did it and I can do it. And next week is a brand new week and I'm going to do it again. Right. Yeah. So it's those little wins, those little celebrations that are actually going to get you through and make you have a positive mind. In order for you to accomplish goals, you need to be positive. You need to make sure that you believe that you can do it.
Right.
Because if you don't believe, you're not going to get it done.
Because there's a difference between telling yourself something and actually believing in yourself to do it. Because if you tell yourself something, I'm going to do this, oh yeah, you're going to do it, but you're never get it done. But if you actually believe in wanting to do it, then once you do accomplish it, you're like, I knew it, So that's very true.
Yeah. So I told you guys it was going to be short and sweet. Yes. And if you have any suggestions, comments, or concerns, you can always write us. And we hope you enjoy this podcast. Thank you, Norma, for joining me today.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you guys soon.
Yes. Happy New Year.
Yes. 2021. Woohoo.
Yeah.